interesting facts of the Dominican Republic. And so the first interesting fact of the Dominican Republic is that the most consumed beer here in the country is called Presidente, which is very interesting. Which Presidente is obviously president. And the thing is here is that when you receive a beer, they don't just put it on the bar and say, hey, here you go. They have to wrap it first in a napkin, and then they have to around the body of the bottle, and then they have to wrap the top of the bottle where you drink out of, and then put a little bit of paper inside. So the reasoning for the bottom of the bottle is so that condensation does not form, or doesn't, it sucks up the condensation. And the reason for the top of the bottle is that so no flies or insects get inside. And you will notice many people, when they sit at the bar here, if they are from this country, they will actually have a piece of napkin stuffed inside the top when they're not drinking it. So, yes, that is a cultural aspect, which is very interesting. Number 2, the Dominican Republic is the site of the first permanent European settlement in the Americas. And on December 5th, Christopher Columbus, a.k.a. Cristobal Colón, in Spanish, or Cristoforo Colombo in Italiano, founded the island accidentally, naming it Hispaniola. Next, a large group of people from the Dominican Republic live in the U.S., and they send billions of dollars in remittance to their family, which is also interesting. And we know that a lot of immigrants go to the United States, and then they send money back home. According to CaribbeanandCo.com, the Dominican Republic is the #1 tourist destination in the Caribbean. And this is from 2017. The actual number of stay-over tourists, not those that are on cruises and they come into the port and then leave, was actually in 2017 6,187,542, which is a large number. The colonial city of Santo Domingo is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and UNESCO is the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. So in today's opening topic, I figure let's see what else we can learn about the Dominican Republic and what people might have to say. And so I asked a couple people today who live here in the Dominican Republic what they think are their favorite place to visit or favorite excursion that we have or offer here in the Dominican Republic. And so Marcos Polanco shared with us Bahía de las Águilas, probably the most untouched beach in the Dominican Republic. Parque Nacional, Cabo Rojo, close to other natural landmark, El Hoyo de Pelempito, and Laguna de Oviedo. Unfortunately, I know Bahía de las Águilas. I've had multiple people tell me that Bahía de las Águilas is the most beautiful place to go and visit, and I have yet to do that. It is on the complete western end of the island, close to the Haitian border, but it's on my bucket list of things to do here in the Dominican Republic. Miguel G. Mack said the Peninsula de Samaná, Parque Nacional de los Haitises, and Phil Bowen said, hands down, Cayo Arena, Paradise Island, some of the best snorkeling you will find. So I'm going to have to check these places out, because other than Bahía de las Águilas, well, I know where Samaná is, but other than Bahía de las Águilas, that I've heard millions of people talk about, Caño Hondo, Cañondo, Cañondo, Cañondo. Yes, that's another place that many people talk about. There's also a hotel here that is of tree houses. I don't remember where it is off the top of my head, but it is literally a hotel, and the rooms are tree houses. Have you heard of it? No? I can't remember what it is. Somebody told me about it. I think I have it written down, though, in the Dominican Republic. And watch us Facebook Live. But, so, last week I talked about a lot of social problems here in the Dominican Republic, a little bit about corruption, a little bit about different cultural aspects, things that don't necessarily go so well. Now, I've lived here for 5 years, and so with that being said, I'm used to a lot of ways of the world. I see the problems, I see the things that need to be fixed, but the important thing that we like to share a little bit of information on is, what do people that come here one time on vacation think about the country? And so the owner manager of, really interesting, and it's real eye-opening for anybody that comes here, because we don't necessarily think that the visitors or tourists that come here really know much or think much about what it is that really is going on outside of their hotel. Now, anybody that is intelligent or thinks that that is worldly or has a global perspective will know that nothing really appears to be what it seems. But many do take on the idea that, oh, it's a wonderful place, people are nice, everything is okay. So we're going to listen right now to the clip of what Jeff had to say. And it's really interesting. And
I'm visiting your country as a tourist. Your gentleman here who is interviewing me, Fernando, has asked me a question. What do I think of the Dominican Republic as a tourist, somebody coming here from thousands of miles away? I think the hotel I'm staying at, Breathless, is a fantastic place. It's very grand, very posh. Look, the living daylights out of me. And it put me off the idea of ever coming back here. I noticed the beaches are cleaned with a tractor outside the hotel and along with the area. But I get propositioned with people that want to sell me cigars and want to sell me paintings and what have you. I think they're desperate for money. They see tourists come from America, Great Britain, and they think that we're plenty of money and rich. And they just want to earn money. It seems that either there's a lack of good jobs, a lack of opportunity, a lack of training. Apart from the people that work in hotels, the wages for them is low. So as a tourist, what do I think of Punta Cana? I think it has a lot to offer. If the government and the council and the city people who are in charge of it were to really clean it up and have some law and order, good morning, and to have better education, better services, and a much safer place and environment for everybody to live in, especially the children. I see children around the streets when I've been traveling on a motorbike or in a car, and the poverty is shocking. It's made me cry, and it's certainly left its mark on me. I will never forget it. It's all very well being rich and staying in a posh hotel and flying on a lovely jet and having a successful business back home. But when you see and walk away from the glitter of the hotel that has got swimming pools and restaurants and it's set in a lovely location, when you walk away from that or travel into the town or away from it, even to San Domingo, you see that it's just not paradise in the sun at all. It's far from it. There are no standards. it seems like you people in charge of your country don't care. It seems like you don't care enough about it. And it's time that you stood up and really helped your country to improve itself. You expect people to come here, you rely on tourism, people will stop coming. And the dollar and the pound will stop coming here. And that is not good for the Dominican Republic. It's not good for any country. If any country does not look after its people, does not look after its infrastructure, does not maintain things and give good service and high standards, then people will not come back. Will I come back here? It's a long way. It's a 9-hour flight. I fly home tomorrow, and I travel a lot around the world. But no, I would not come back here. I definitely wouldn't come back here. The only reasons that would possibly entice me to come back are the friends that I've made amongst the Dominican people, who have treated me with great respect, a lot of love and affection. And I love the Dominican people very much indeed. I just feel terribly, terribly sorry that their governor, their president, does not do enough for them and enough for his country. Thank you very much indeed. This country, it needs change. It definitely needs change to help the people to survive and get better, so the people can have better lives and a better standard of living, so that the young mothers with little children can have a better future, so the children can have a better future, so that the young gentlemen, when they leave school and they have good education, that they have a job to go to, good training and apprenticeship. It means then that hopefully they can earn decent wages, become engineers, become nurses, become people of standing and who can support their families, so that the lady who has a little bambina can have a life and not just be working all the hours under the sun to survive and bring up her children or child, because many, many are alone. And often I see amongst the people here that they have 1, 2, or 3 bambina, and it's hard for them. But a lot of them work hard, they work a lot of hours, and they want to learn, and they want to have a better life. Mr. President, Governor, I implore you, I impress upon you, you must seriously look hard into your hearts. You must look hard at your country and you think of your people. The corruption and the bad things that go on in all countries around the world, that's something sadly that we all live with. But if we can do something about it to stop it happening, then it improves our countries. We get it in the UK, you get it here, but sadly, more than likely, a lot worse. If you get rid of the badness out of a country and you put goodness there, and you help the people become stronger, the country becomes stronger, and the children that grow up in it will love you for it. And they will vote you back into power. And not only that, you'll not just be well loved by your people, you'll be well loved by the world. I wish you well with your country, but please, 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 listen to your people. They need help, not just as a place for tourists to come to, but your people that live here, the people that grow up here, the people that are born here, the people who do all they can to help build this country and make it what it is today. You need to help those. You need to help the young, the old, the infirm, the mentally ill, the people that can't get around very much, the people that suffer with illnesses, cancers, the children that are born that maybe not born very well, and the mums who have to look after them. Please listen to what I'm saying. Get your government officials together. Take heed of this and do something good. Make your country great. Let the world know, and people will come here. Thank you very much indeed. It's been an honor and a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you very much indeed to all Dominican people. I love you very much.
And so that was Jeff from the United Kingdom. He was here on vacation at a hotel here in outside of Punta Cana. And this was his impression of the Dominican Republic. He's not coming back. He said maybe because of the way the people treated him and how wonderful they were that treated him here. His experiences, and as you can see, he is, or as you heard, he has traveled extensively throughout the world. And his first impression was that it was a nice stay. The hotel was beautiful, but outside the hotel was not anything that he felt was okay for the people of this country to live in. Now, I don't know exactly where he went, what he did. I know he said that he had a problem when he went to try and get a boat, that he was very turned off by it and then didn't leave the resort again after that. That when he was on the beach, yes, and that is normal here, that when you're on the beach, there are people selling different things. And because that's how a lot of people here make their money, walking up and down the beach every day in the hot sun, selling cigars, cigarettes, souvenirs, what do you call them? The little wraps that women wear over their swimsuits, which, okay, that's not necessarily a horrible thing, but that's what people need to do here to survive. Or what they do to survive. You know, when he said he had gone on an excursion off of the property, and I had touched upon this last week, and it really is deplorable. The garbage on the sides of the roads here. There is no reason for this. People are looking for jobs. People need to work so we can get these people that need jobs to go through the streets with the new garbage trucks that were just given or bought by the municipio, the local government, to go around and then pick up the garbage that the people pick up. I mean, they're there, they exist. We need to have a good conversation in this area, in any area of the Dominican Republic, about garbage, because it really is too bad. You have beautiful palm trees, beautiful beaches, and garbage everywhere. I mean, it's absurd. And also, he pointed out the infrastructure and the roads. You know, you see the same pothole over and over again. They fill it, and then it's there again, and it's filled, and it's there again, because obviously they're not filling it with the right thing that they need to. They put sand in it, and I don't know what else, and then what happens to sand? Yes, of course, when you first fill it, it's nice, and it lands right there, and it looks full, and you pat it down, but what happens? It gets wet, it pushes down again, it goes away, it washes away, and you have the same hole again. Drains that don't have a drain on it. I mean, I remember one day, few years ago, I was walking down the street. I literally fell through a pothole, a manhole, a sewer hole, because the top was corroded and Luckily, I was too big to fall down the hole completely, but my one leg went all the way in. I mean, I was bleeding, I was bruised, everything. I was walking at that point in time because I didn't have a car to work, and I just was amazed. I mean, again, these are all things that need to be looked at because, yes, and he is absolutely correct. These little things may seem little to the government or of what's going on out there. That's fine. But also, like he said, these people, their wages are not good. You know, if you don't own your own business in this country, it is very difficult to make a living. Education needs to be reformed. People need to be these children from different families need to realize that they don't need to have 4 or 5 children by the time they're 20, 25, that they can have a life and have a future and then have children afterwards. You know, there need to be want to do people that I speak to that we're going to go to a different place. I'm going to go to a different country. I'm going to go visit somewhere else. And that could definitely happen. I don't Dominican Republic is a beautiful country. It has many things to offer themselves because unfortunately people
corrí toda la línea de Montecristi a Castañuela por ti mi vida. Fui pa' Esperanza y también Valverde Mao. Eso lo hace solo un hombre enamorado que por la Romana, San Pedro y también Higüey y Punta Cana. En casa y campo me encontré con mi pana. Me dice Pop Daddy a los dominicanos. No viene al caso, mi jornada continué. Por ti mi reina para el sur yo me tiré. Empecé por San Cristóbal, de Baní y Barahona. Si lo lindo al marcharte yo no duermo ni una hora. Y con esta me despido, que viva Santo Domingo. Que es que ya soy tu hijo con orgullo y con cariño. Esta es mi forma de agradecerle a la gente de la República Dominicana por el apoyo que le ha dado la aventura. De corazón, los quiero mucho, los adoro.
Los feroces.
Aventura.
Okay, that's Aventura. And if Romeo, if you're out there anywhere and you're listening to me, I want you on my show. 809-693-3089. Just and if you would like to make a comment on anything that we have been talking about, anything that you have seen so far, please don't hesitate to call in and let us know what you're thinking, how you feel about the topic that we just talked about, or anything, or if you would just like to give us a shout out, or give yourself a shout out, or somebody else in the world a shout out. Because remember, this is all around the world right now, broadcasting live and direct from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. And so now I am going to go to my hot topic of the day. And my hot topic for today, even if that wasn't enough of a hot topic that we just talked about, that was just my introduction. Imagine. My hot topic for today is something that I've thought about a lot. I always think about it. And listening to different music here around the world, I think to myself, what is going on with music? Okay, now, not all music, you know, your regular music like merengue, bachata, and, you know, pop things. You have romance things coming in here, people talking about, you know, your average day-to-day stuff, fine. But you also have to remember in this country, in the Dominican Republic, urban music, urban artists, and dembow are those types of music that the youth of the country listen to. And so music today and the message it is sending to those that are listening to it is really important, because we have to think about, how does music affect adolescents? How does music affect young people? How does music affect anybody? You know, usually it should make you get up and dance and whatever. Some people have music because they want to use it as an outlet to help change the world. And then others use it as something that, you know, when children or young people listen to music and all they hear is or see is sex, drugs, guns, womenizing, getting money, doing bad things so that they can have more money and not caring about it. And these are all things that you see in these videos now. We need to stop and think about it. There's an excellent example, which I'm sure anybody from here in this area maybe would know. Like, was it Shallow Shack? Or was it Shadow Blow? Shallow Shack. No, it was Shallow Shack. Sorry. And I don't want to get the wrong name because someone's going to come after me. No, I'm just kidding. He was filming one of his videos, and there were the part of the video where he has the gun and he's got guns and he's doing all of these things, and these children are in the front row watching them film it. Now after this, he goes back to be or emulate these people who they admire. And my boyfriend's brother's daughter, for the longest time, you know, they thought it was hilarious because, I mean, she dances very well, but she's got the booty shake, so to call it, the Dominican booty shake. And so she's there in front of these people and dancing and like 5 years old, doing things that you just should not be doing, and they're laughing at it. I'm like, are you crazy? Before is not cute anymore, and she doesn't quite understand why. So, anyways, I'm sure some of them do have it, and then that's it. So, let's be more responsible. Let's take responsibility for, everybody needs to take responsibility for their actions. And so with things like this, we need to think about who it is that is listening to it, and what is the value of what it is that we're singing about. You know, if you have to hear one more song about who's being
Soy quilero, mi misión hacer dinero, un capo con sangre de guerrero. Soy quilero, lo que subo, un trabajo por los cielos, triplico las ganancias por el suelo. Soy quilero, mi misión hacer dinero, un capo con sangre de guerrero.
Okay, and we're back with What's Up Punta Cana with Christy Maggio, and here I am, Christy Maggio, live and direct, another Friday evening. And so now it's time for What's Up Dominican Republic. Although I have been talking about the Dominican Republic, but I would like to share a wonderful event that happened here for the last 3 days. And that event was the Azonadores Exposición Comercial, and which in English is Azonadores, is the Association of Hotels and Tourism in the Dominican Republic, and they had their 2018 commerce exhibition here. And so what it is a all of the vendors and suppliers of hotels, restaurants that work in the tourism industry come here and basically display their products in hopes that different hotels and restaurants and tourist companies will contract them to provide them with a service. Amongst these are, food companies, lighting, security systems, vehicle rentals, printers, warehouse and storage solutions, gardening, energy solutions, security, industrial administration, drinks, education, furniture, technology and communications, constructors, painters, roofers. I mean, the list goes on and on. Kitchen equipment, hotel equipment, security teams, legal services, sports and recreation equipment, and so on. And so all of these people come into, and it was this time, the 2018 exhibition was at Blue Mall. And so they all, have their tables and their booths and everything there. Unfortunately, I went today, and I have a school here in the area, and so I took two of my students that are doing online program independent study as part of the accreditation program from the U.S. And so they were learning about how to do an interview. And so they had to research what the exhibition was, and then think about what company they might like to talk to, ask questions, and then go and find someone at the exhibition to ask these questions to and interview. So perfect hands-on experience. Not only are they going to write an interview and maybe ask questions to their teacher, they're literally had to go and find somebody here in this location to find out all about the company. Unfortunately, we got there, and I didn't know this, and we weren't allowed to enter the actual exhibition area because kids are not allowed inside. But the good part is that in the main central atrium area of the mall, other vendors were there, and they were more than happy to assist me and the children in letting them interview them. So, actually, I'm going to hold up to Facebook Live if you're watching, or YouTube. If you go to, we're also live on YouTube channel for Punta Cana Hits, and I'm going to show you the pictures of them because they are just so cute, and they really, really, really did a good job, and they learned a lot about. And this is their first time that either of them did an interview, and so where's my camera? You have a camera? And so, so here are the two of them when we just arrived there. Look, they have their notebook and their pencils in their hands. And then this was one of the provider that they give it to. When you go for breakfast in the hotels in the morning, they have the little cups of syrup and the little cups of honey, and they actually made waffles while they were there. There's a company from the United States with this waffle flour, and I have to say it was a delicious waffle. Like, I'm not a big waffle pancake person, but I do have to say that these waffles were delicious, and he said that they were made in I think Indiana, Illinois. This wonderful man who if you look at little Taino ceramic things, like these if you look at the picture, this is the wonderful man here in the picture, and there you go. Yeah, I think it's the last one. Yeah. And so if you're